you've been playing a lot anyway, but one of the beauties plus, all you guys get to play a lot. What has it meant to you to
it's
get
meant
this much action?
It's meant a lot, especially under Josh Myers and all those guys. It's really good to get in, and especially playing it with next to guys like Gavin, now Enoch's in there, and all these other guys in there. And so it's a really good experience to share that with those guys.
Harry, just what do you feel like are the things you've done that have allowed you to establish yourself as that second-team center and gain the trust of someone who can play as a true freshman?
I think a lot of it is to the testament of my high school coaches and the people who were with me in high school and helped me develop. And then, of course, the coaches here in the off-season gave me so much attention and help to get me prepared. And then once I got here, it was, again, under the first-string guys and under all those guys that they kind of, tutored me and brought me up and helped me and kind of just threw me in. And so I had to pick it up quick.
You guys have had blowouts almost every week. How beneficial has it been for backups to be able to play as much as they have?
It's been huge. It's been huge to be able to get in the shoe and get reps and go against high-quality guys and get live reps and get reps that have consequences instead of, controlled situations here. So it's a huge opportunity.
Do you feel like, even though you're a freshman, that because you've played so much, you don't feel like a freshman so much?
It feels, especially in playing our defense here every day, it feels like I feel like I've been here my entire life, and it's like it feels like I had a different life a couple months ago, and so it's been really good to get in here. Going against Tough is a dude I admire a lot, and these D linemen, and BB is a huge mentor for me as well, and I'm just taking in as much as those guys can give me and really learn from those guys.
If Josh were snatched by aliens, what would happen if you were the starting center for Ohio State?
I think I'd have to take a big gulp, get settle down, and just kind of do what I got to do and fit in. And I know next to guys like Jonah and Wyatt, those guys are amazing mentors and they're amazing brothers, and they're always there supporting me. And I hope Josh wouldn't get snatched up by aliens, because then I wouldn't be able to talk to him. But maybe they'll give him a telephone or something, and I'll ask him for help still. But that's not a situation that I wish to happen. It's so incredible to see these first-string guys play the way they play. I hope in a couple of years that I can lead the way Josh has led these guys and the way that Jonah's come in and led these guys. It's really incredible.
Go ahead.
What's the difference between thinking like a guard or thinking like a center? Obviously there's similarities in the interior of the line. What's different?
And the funny thing is I only played 2 games of center my entire high school career. And I came here and had to get into it. And I think there's a lot of similarities, but the center also has a lot of responsibilities in designating things and, assigning guys to certain tasks in a play and doing all those things. But I think if you want to be successful in any place on the line, you need to know what the entire line's doing. And I know lots of guys here, there's a huge reputation of guys playing between guard and center. And I think Gavin's played everywhere on the line while he's been here. So there's a huge, not even just for a center, but for every position to know what's going on. And Coach Stud's amazing at giving us football knowledge and teaching us those things.
Speaking of that, I'm sure you're not focused on next year, none of the guys are, but a lot of fans have asked, what's going to happen next year? Would Harry play guard? Would he play center and Josh would move to guard? I know you don't know for sure what's going to happen. What are some possibilities that could happen next year?
I think those are the 2 you listed. I don't imagine myself playing tackle, so I don't know how that's arranged. I'm sure Coach is going to think that out, and they're going to make the right decision. And that's just me doing what I got to do. And again, talking about center and guard and the crossover there, it's pretty seamless, and you just kind of got to get used to doing little different nuances and getting used to that. But other than that, it's kind of just fitting into the system.
Harry, I know that you were FaceTiming into meetings during the spring before you got here. How much did that help you in terms of getting up to speed once you arrived?
Massively, because I got here and I was able to have a basic understanding to where I could ask questions, which is where, of course, I want to be, is to where I can dig deeper into the system and ask more questions. And so I got here, had the basis to, I knew what I didn't know, and I knew what I needed to know, and so I got to studying, got to learning. And again, with Coach Stud and the ones we have in place, it's incredible what I was able to pick up. And camp was a huge learning experience. I remember our first inside drill going against Baron Browning, and he just completely lit me up, and I was like, it was an incredible experience. And that's when I realized the speed, I realized the intensity, I realized the scheme. And ever since then, I've been carried by Coach Stud, Coach Day, all the offensive coaches, and the first line.
You're a freshman, but I would consider you an expert on offensive line play. How well is the first team offensive line playing right now, Harry? Very
well, I would say, and I guess I have a bias to that.
I mean, what are they getting done? I mean, from your vantage point, that just stands out to you?
What stands out to me is kind of the intensity of it, and the joy of how we've treated other teams, and the fact that, like, I watched Jonah play, and that's a guy that I want to emulate because he's so physical, he's so strong, he's so in control all the time. He never looks like he's panicked or worried. He always has composure, and he's just beating guys. And Josh is getting 5 KDs a game. Wyatt is mauling guys, and Bowen and Thayer, and Josh Allaby is a huge guy that I look up to because he's been through so many trials to where he's switched positions, he's been injured, he's come back from an injury, he's filled a role, and he's done incredible things. And I remember when I first got here in the summer, he was one of the first guys to put an arm over me and say, like, hey, and kind of show me the ropes and kind of get me in the system. And so those guys are playing incredible, I think, and it's an amazing honor to be able to play behind them and learn from them.
And what does Coach Stu draw you guys, the number 2 line, what does he expect from you? Like, he was over there with you guys a minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
What are the expectations?
He expects exactly the same from us, and that's kind of what I think we need to expect from ourselves as well, because if anything, it's expect to play next year. If anything as well, it's expect to be ready to play this year if anything happens. And so we have an absolute responsibility to defend guys like Chugs and defend guys like Gunner, and if we're called to do is defend guys like Justin. And I love playing with the guys that we play with, and it's imperative that we defend them. It's imperative that we do our job, especially, as you said, going in on blowout games. We have a task to fulfill.
Certain guys had a highly rated center recruit also coming here. Can a team have too many centers?
I think my coach told me in high school that a team can never have too many centers, because it's kind of difficult to just throw a ball between your legs and run a play. And they said, that's why we got 4 guys in a line getting snaps. And I've seen Jonah get snaps at center. I've seen Gavin get snaps at center. I've seen all these guys get snaps at center. And I remember I love our incoming class of offensive linemen, not just because of how they play, but really talking with them, kind of personalities they have. They're very, it's kind of astonishing to see how high profile they are while also remaining very humble, very low-key, very diligent and eager to work. And so I'm very excited to have guys like Luke come in and be able to work with him. And, I hope how Josh has treated me, I can treat the guys that come in and be a role like that for those guys.
Harry, how many snaps do you think you played this year? Do you know roughly how many?
Do some quick math, maybe like 10, 80, maybe like 120 snaps.
Is that more than you thought you'd have?
Yeah, it was. And I think the only game I didn't get in was Michigan State. And so I remember going in against Wisconsin, like, oh my gosh, we're playing against Wisconsin as a freshman. Like, wow, this is crazy. And so and of course that's just a testament to how great the ones play, and they're so phenomenal. And again, they're huge shoes to fill, and it's a great experience to have.
Harry, you were on a mission trip when you were FaceTiming, correct? Mm-hmm. So what was the background like that your teammates were looking at when you were on the screen? Were you at it?
So I'm actually very excited because we've talked with a lot of guys here about going down to Los Brasiles in Nicaragua next year. And down there it's completely beautiful. And in March, we were kind of they were in the middle of a political revolution against Daniel Ortega, who's been a president, I use the term loosely, for 2 decades or so. And the history is kind of military coup after military coup and all these things. And so I hope they brought a team to China this previous summer, and so I hope to bring some guys down next March to Nicaragua. And we've talked with multiple sports, and we have a great program called Cross Sports here, which is for Christian athletes. And I've been able to share stories with them, and there are many athletes from different sports interested in going down and supporting that.
Thank you, Gary. That is the most that Nicaraguan politics has ever come up in.
Absolutely.
Seems like you know what you're talking about.
I had to do extemporaneous speaking in high school, and so I had to do a lot of international research as well. So,
especially for
spoken like a center.
Yeah.
What's your major?
Mechanical engineering, but I was hoping to minor in music or literature was the hope. So, we'll see.
Very cool. Thanks for your time.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Harry.
I'm trying to get a cello for Christmas, actually.
Bring him out every week.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.